we'll use Bruce Lee. He used to talk about a conservation of energy. And he would be talking about how athletes would, as they became more experienced, they would actually be a lot more relaxed in their movements because they knew, like, which specific muscles needed to move so you could be an efficient machine. And in the beginning, athletes, when they first start training, can sometimes be more tired because they're using too much muscle, there's too much tenseness. And so, in your nunchuck training, what you want to be aware of is what's tensed, what's tightened, what needs to be tightened, and what doesn't. If you think of a belt, and you whip a belt, you know, it's very loose, but it's very snappy at the same time. It has a sharpness to it. Nunchucks are kind of the same way. You want to be very loose, but there is just a little bit of tension in it. And it's not in your other hand. I repeat, it's not in your other hand. Which brings me to, a lot of us call it Dino hand. And what Dino hand is when you have the nunchucks and you're working fast and furious, what happens to this hand is there's so much concentration in the chucks you don't even realize your hand will start to clench up like a dinosaur and it'll like go right here like a T-Rex, like right there. So they'll be spinning and their hand will just attach like this, like, dear God, what happened? I don't know, it was a terrible accident. But it goes away when I stop spinning nunchucks, which is great. You don't want people to think that you're, to think that. So what I want you to focus on is loosening up. Every time you feel tension, it could be in your hands, it could be in your legs even, remind yourself that as you're spinning you need to be loose, like a belt. And it snaps at the end. Even as I'm spinning nunchucks, fast and furious, my hand is very loose. It's very loose. Because if I tensed it up, it would actually cause it to go against the momentum that I'm creating. So, just watch your Dino hand, and if you don't have it, or if you don't think you have it, record yourself just to make sure, and see if, as you're spinning fast and furious, if your other hand starts to crunch up, or cramp up, or just up here at your chest or stomach level. You may be surprised.